Greetings. Join us. I don't mention this very often, but this is one of the most shadow banned channels out there. Yeah, because after I make a video, it disappears for like 8 hours. It might show up for some people, but for most people, it disappears, at least for 5 hours or something like that. It just vanishes. You know, I mean, unless I have the link, I could find it. I think it's there for me sometimes. Well, the back end is there, but front end of YouTube is not there. So, just for those that are not wondering, I'm surprised I'm on YouTube at all, actually, especially going. But they go back to the shadow ban stuff. Like when I first started, nobody knew about me. So, but when I started getting traction, that's when I started blocking me. So that was like a first year into this. So yeah, they've been just knocking my channel down left and right. So you get used to it. So just a little word on that. So anyway, all right. So this is Black Ops. I guess just kind of spelled it a little bit differently, but anyway, Black Ops JMWAVE. So that's a CIA. It's a CIA front that was in Miami during the 1960s, and I'll bring it up here. So basically, they're going after Castro, but I was, I'm surprised they made that public actually, but and the building is still there apparently. But I forgot what that was. They gave it another name, but they helped with the Miami economy. I believe the CIA played a big role in the Miami in general. If it wasn't for them, I don't think it'd be the way it is right now because all the drug cartels and all that came in. So yeah, so you look at Miami, thank the CIA. That's the vibe I get from it. You can take it for wherever you want. So this whole Black Ops thing, obviously people aren't thinking about this stuff that much, but well, that's why they call it Black Ops. So City 40, the city that doesn't exist, is in Russia. It's like a Russian city I can't pronounce. It was one of 40 or 44 cities that were hidden during the Cold War to make atomic bombs. So the whole city was about making an atomic bomb. So they needed all the resources to do it, but it was like off the maps, but they do have people living in them now, but they're still quarantined. So you look up for City 40, you'll be able to find something on it. It's not that well known. I think there's a documentary on Netflix about it, I think. So this whole Black Ops, so I was going to go into more of the Black Ops stuff that's going on. And of course, the government hires private militaries and stuff like that. But from my feeling, you take it wherever you want. My feeling is CNN is mostly a PSYOP, a Black Ops operation of some kind. It's been infiltrated pretty strongly. That's why the people there are kind of like, I say morons, but like mental. I won't use the word mental midget. It's like high school, but more. I think it's worse. It's more like for infants, basically. It's like adult infants. Like they might be adults in their 40s, but they act like children. There's a lot of that going on there. I think it's been highly taken over it's connected to the Time Warner. And it's just, it's like it's a puppet show, basically. So at least that's the vibe I'm getting from it. So I feel like the people there are kind of like in a closed box, so they can't think for themselves, programmed on all levels. It's like they're being indoctrinated to think the way they think. I don't think I'm wrong about that either. Yeah, so in this our Great Awakening, I'm not sure if people are ready to wait, to repair something like that. The black ops stuff is everywhere. Like half of Hollywood, I would say, is under some kind of manipulation. Obviously, this is nothing new. Of course, the music industry. I mean, when you play God, you can do whatever you want, and they get away with it. Obviously, I would say even some presidents in other countries are part of this black ops operation, meaning like some of them are from our government or associated with our government that we put them in. Obviously, this is nothing new. Like the Afghanistan, the president was basically appointed. I think it goes more deeper than that. It just will never know. Yeah, it's like a big puppet show. That's just from the CIA point of view. That's just the CIA stuff that's coming out. What about these other intelligence agencies? What are they doing? Which isn't the easiest to tap into. Well, that means Lockheed Martin has a lot of British influence in that case, or British spies, or whatever it might be. Yeah, they're all spying on each other. So, jeez. But in our Great Awakening, don't you think some of this stuff should come into the surface eventually? Some of this has, but this stuff's from the 60s. So if something from the 60s is being like Miami, pretty much a PSYOP itself practically, and that's coming out. So 30 years from now, what are we going to know about what's happening now? So, or more than 40 years or 50 years, whatever it might be, if they even declassify any of it. So yeah, we're just we're in this strange realm that obviously it's not the thought, people aren't thinking about it, but there's psyops everywhere. I mean, we see our presidency as a psyop. They're talking to the wall for like all day. You probably think he's talking to a crowd of people. I'm not gonna go into all that. I've had too much fun with that one. Yeah, the Brandon administration. That's too damn funny. All right, that's livetalk.com. We have private sessions. We have the shop here. Added a couple of new. Oh, it finally worked. Added some recently added. We're not to do that. So add some new stuff here that might give some people some ideas. Spirit Social and the shop is still here. I'm doing some upgrades here. Webinar, social network behind the scenes. Okay. All right. So okay. So where do I go from here? It's like, oh yeah, I forgot. So busy talking about it, I forget to show it. So. Okay, this is a JMWAVE, and you can look it up. Part of the Bay of Pigs. I guess they're going to turn into a museum or something like that. Okay, that was back in 2007. Okay, whatever this is saying. But yeah, they say this is all. It says CIA 1961 and 1968. So, and the structure is still there too somewhere. So, and the other thing about, first of all, the CIA is not supposed to be on U.S. ground, but apparently they have front companies also. I think about that. That's Fritzy. I think that's Fritzy. Yeah, take her place in the world. So if you have Scientology has that here, they have front companies, software companies you've never heard of. And so with this whole CIA black ops situation, how do you know some of these companies feel a little hollow? meaning that there's more. There's like software companies or whatever companies that are around. You've never heard of them, but they look like they got millions of dollars. Like, is there something else going on there? Probably because there is. So, not always the case, but there are cases like that. So, it looks like she's going to town. So, it's like, as we go into the higher vibrations, don't you think some of this stuff's going to start surfacing, or people just want to look the other way? That's fine. That's the American way, apparently. They don't teach this stuff in schools. Well, that's a PSYOP also, obviously. Probably CIA. I wouldn't doubt it. They seem to have their hands in everything these days, and they're not supposed to be here, but they are. Doing what they do best. Oh, jeez. This is the other Chernobyl. This is like one of the third disasters. Mayak. Anyway, that's part of the city that's that no one's ever heard of or can pronounce for that matter. So they're making all that nuclear waste and all that, creating atomic bombs, and then it had an explosion. That's like one of the third, worst, just like Chernobyl, but not as bad. So, which most people have never heard of because it was a cover up behind it. So, there's City 40. So it has some. It just, you have to have checkpoints and all that there. So you can get in there, but you have to be authorized because it's still a nuclear energy. It's still. I guess it's a safe place to live because it's under pretty much security lockdown. But I guess they have all the stuff they want and everything. I'm assuming. Yeah. Not sure what that's about. And this is the name of the town that you can't pronounce. Is a closed city, but it still has a population. It has a population of 82,000 people. It's like, geez, or 92, whatever. It's like, geez. It's like, but probably most people have never heard of anything like this before. Yeah. Well, it's not like you've traveled to Russia anytime soon. And this is some of the stuff they're allowed us to know. So, just a little bit of, you can say I've been doing a little bit of digging, sort of. This Black Ops stuff. Oh yeah, there's another thing of what's the name of it? There's a video game called what is the name of it? I'll have to look it up. Call of Duty. Yeah, Call of Duty. If I can look it up here. It's even called Call of Duty Black Ops, and they made a video game about this stuff. And I guess they go into some of this. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the story and everything, but look at her trying to tear the place apart. Yeah, but this is another them telling us what they're doing. They might not give us the full details or anything like that. Some of this is on other versions of Earth also, but still. They're still leaking some of this stuff. We literally call it Black Ops. They make it like it's fun and everything. So it's like, man. We live in a city, how many of those companies that are in your city that are legit? You'll never know, but if you feel the vibrations coming from it, doesn't feel right, it's probably something else going on there. That's the level we're going into. If you want to go higher vibration, the idea is to go higher vibration where they can't hide this stuff anymore. So that's the point of all this. Okay, I go into so am I going to channel here? Black Ops. Yeah, the vibe I get from CNN, I'm not sure of how many of those people in CNN are actually people. I know that sounds a little weird, but I don't know. It's like some kind of astral psyop or something like that. Of course, it's happening everywhere, but some of them make it more obvious than others. Like you have Fox News, and there is something going on there, but it seems like CNN is the one that's mostly in lockdown. Fox News is kind of shut down, but there's other things going on. It's a little bit more real, I guess. But CNN is completely gone. So it's almost like a computer program almost. I mean, when all they do is talk about negative stuff all day. Of course, Fox is the same thing. It messes with you, kind of warps your mind and everything. It's programming. I mean, they're not just programming society; they're programming themselves. So, and there's only so much a person can handle, so they start going crazy. Which they already see. When they start acting like kids, they're going to freaking lost their minds. They start crying and doing little stunts, like I think we got an adult 4-year-old, which is a lot of that going on right now. So it's like high school kids act better than these guys. So it's like a clown show now. It's humorous, but it's also, I don't know, sad, I guess. if there is, I don't know, whatever. So, okay, all right, we're going to, I guess we're going to our Arcturian energies. That's the ones I feel right now. And probably some Palladian energies. I'm not sure I'm going to channel Black Ops stuff like this. I'm not going to channel that crap. But they're not going to be exposed yet, obviously. Well, eventually they'll find its way out, but not just yet. So, okay. Yeah, this is different. This isn't your normal scheduled channeling, but it's still stuff that's very relevant. Like I said, Miami is, I believe, a lot of it's definitely a drug town. Well, at least it was, or it is, kind of isn't. But it's definitely a CIA influence there for that to happen. Like they allowed it to happen. Or however you want to look at it. Even CIA operatives as drug dealers. Yeah, I'm getting something out, which is nothing new. Yeah, which is pretty obvious, right? I wouldn't call them informants. I call them drug dealers. Because that's what they are. I mean, they might be connected to the government, but they're mostly a drug dealer, though. Jeez. Yeah. Okay, well, our state of the world. Yeah, so if you want, like, if people want to know, like, if we're invaded by aliens and all, just look at our government. The federal government and how messed up they are. It's like, you don't think some of those are aliens from another planet screwing around with our world? If you don't think so, go right. Just live in Wild Wild Land. But there's they can't hide it either. They look like creatures and like skeleton creatures. I'm not going to mention names. I've done that already. Yeah, I've already dug that hole. But anyway, it's just there. It's not how you look at it. So, okay, all right. And a lot of it's coming from Orion. So, okay. All right, we'll see where we get with this. All right, blessings. Greetings, the Arcturians. Blessings. Yes, sending energy to your collective. Yes, there's a lot of truth on your planet that's still hidden. Just in your modern history, at least in the last 30 years, that has not fully shown itself. Yes, it goes back to the Kennedy era, where that was a time of more of the alien agendas took effect after Kennedy left. Of course, they were already in effect before that, but they really showed their true colors, at least those that were of a darker tone, how they want to rule your planet. And they just don't care. So your World War II kind of extended itself, meaning did it really ever really end? It changed its energy, maybe not the war that you're used to, but more went to, yes, a PSYOP type of war, a hidden one. But it can't hide itself forever. It has to show itself. It shows itself so it can continue, like with your spy movies and TV shows and your spy this and spy that. notice how there's a lot of spying in your pop culture. Doesn't that feel a little strange to you? Shouldn't it be about how to improve yourself or how to upgrade yourself? Of course, that's asking a little bit much, but um, they can occur here. But there's a lot of spy, entertainment because there's a lot of spying going on behind the scenes that has not been healed. But it's up to you in a higher frequency level. You can heal it or allow it to be known. Obviously, you don't have to have it known in your life or in your life, but to allow more of this energy to be exposed. They can't hide forever. And they use a type of manipulation, you can call it voodoo, on society. Well, yes, that there's a good guy. When in truth, well, they have to say they're a good guy, at least in their eye, to make up for all the bad things they've done. Like they're a saint, that they saved you. They made your life better. Because freedom is not free. Which, realize in your 1950s, your world could have changed tremendously. Yeah, so none of those alien starseeds that are incarnating here now, after the World War II, but the 1950s and 60s, around the 50s, the Earth could have went into more of a higher frequency level if it was allowed to through your controllers, where you can just know more about yourselves and kind of go into like a mini utopia. Yes, there was some of that Cold War energy going on, and obviously that was there to stop any type of utopian energy. But the war was over, technically. But you had a time of a renaissance, basically, worldwide, not just in one place, other places. Yes, there's a lot of healing. Yes, there's a lot of psyops, what has to do with race, even religion. But around your 1950s, there could have been a transformation right there. And yes, it was diverted, slowed down. That's where your hippies came in to shift the vibrations. But of course, that was even very violent, as some of you might know through history or experience it. It wasn't exactly paradise. It was a little bit better, but still had a lot of low frequencies going on, and you still do today. But in your 1950s, there was a time of peace, like true world peace, that could have been achieved. But of course, you have your UN and agendas, and they were just getting started with their manipulative ways. Now, not that the world had been perfect, but you were working up to more, meaning that more advanced technologies, as you hear what your black ops technologies, your hidden alien technologies, there was a possibility, and this could have very well happened, where not that you have alien spacecrafts flying around. Well, you've been given more technology to make your society more advanced. And you already went through a version of that. It could have been more of a 1950s style, but notice there's like a technology boom during World War II and afterwards. Well, it could have kept going up, but then it got kind of stagnant, and you're kind of doing the same thing. Even your cars are kind of still the old-fashioned combustible engines, and now you're kind of getting a little bit more advanced, but not by much, really. This electric car situation all could have been done a lot sooner. Of course, there's better technologies out there. As many of you know, with free energy and what you're tampering with now was available during the 50s also. So it's just that shows how much energy has been bogging down your earth. So you did have the capability of shifting your vibrations sooner than you thought. Yes, you realize that there's a call that came in and aliens incarnated to help elevate the vibrations. But there was enough already here before that to shift things around. It's just the darkness has hit. They came out. Obviously, you're not really living the utopia life. Now you're going to more of a technology manipulated reality, as you see. Yes, more of, kind of pseudoscience, trying to turn humans into machines. That's currently going on at this time. And that's inevitable. So the era you're going into is right now many children. Now this is for the parents actually. Children are right now can't figure out their sexual identity, but there will also be a time where children or adults, probably more adults than children, but well, we'll see how that goes. Where if you want to be a robot or not, if you want implants and things like that, you're kind of going in that era. You're already seeing it currently. And it just hasn't been, yeah, it's even getting kind of, yeah, when you have technology put into a person, that's a little bit off. But at the rate the world is going, some people are going to be allowing it more and more. Of course, they have to justify it through your manipulation of your reality. And it's kind of getting there. It has a certain way, yes, attuning the person's vibration to be under control of the system. You see how many are complacent now? They can be even more complacent in your future. Doesn't mean that's going to happen anytime soon, but there is a possible timeline of that. You're kind of already seeing it now where so many are addicted to technology as it is. This is the early stages of it. So your transhumanism energy is already upon you, but you're still in the very, very early stages of it. Where it'll just be more introduced to children, unfortunately, in the future. But as that happens, you're also advancing your alien connections at the same time. So that can be healed, but there's no telling where the timelines are going at this time. So, but not to worry, but to realize those timelines exist. Doesn't mean it'll happen tomorrow, today, or even happen at all, because there's a possibility of those timelines being diverted. But we bring it up because many of you kind of see the writing on the wall. Some are, even the cryptocurrency energy, some are getting, it's another digital energy. But some can take it to the next level. Like they want to see, crypto in their minds, basically. You haven't gotten to that level, but it is getting into a time of where technology and the humans, like you're going to see more of it. Eventually, android energies will be brought into your world, but not just yet. The world's not ready for a robot to walk around your society. But you have humans to do that instead. Can you turn your human into a machine? And that's already been accomplished. But can it go to the next level? So this should also increase many of your healing abilities to realize the world you're getting into. It's already writing. You're already seeing sexuality being questioned, and a male or a female doesn't even know what they are anymore. So whoever saw that coming? So the transhumanism energy is a high possibility. That's not quite hit just yet. But once again, it's here to divide society. Greetings. We are the Pleiadians. Blessings. We are the Council. Actually, we are the Council of 9. Blessings to you. Our energies, yes, with your Earth. Well, you can say they're Black Ops energies. Yes, a lot of this comes from another planet. Other beings that find a way to infiltrate your Earth. Yes, through time travel. To infiltrate timelines. And yes, to create this reality you're in currently. So it's actually going into a timeline and allowing, technologies to come in that don't need to be here. It's like you implant the technology. It's a timeline for technology to be discovered in your current state. You go back in the past and you build it up. You can do it astrally also. It's a little bit confusing there. Like someone will get a download or some being will come in to give it to your society. It's like doorways into your timelines. It's a little confusing there. But yes, your CIA is easy for alien interaction. At least for light and dark come in there. But they can easily connect to those because that's where the battle is. It's in your spy agencies. that you do not see. Well, that will change over time. As your chakras awaken more, your vibrations with the earth shift. These secret agencies can't be secret anymore. Even the secret societies, it was like, how many of you are peeking in and listening to that little seance? Those days are coming. And you might not even be looking for it. You just feel it. And you don't have to live by these Yale universities or anything like, or CI or anything. You just sense it because it needs to be healed. Because some of them are asking for help. It's like, we don't want to be a part of this anymore because we lost ourselves. Someone needs to come find us. Yes, your city 40. Yes, it's there are some that wanted, yes, to destroy the earth, but there was no chance of that. But they were thinking about it. Those are that controlled the bombs. They're really a god complex. Did they care what they destroyed? No. If the planet was destroyed, I believe some of them would actually enjoy it. Some of my, I don't think any of them would do it on accident. If that was the case, you would not be messing with bombs at all. So, but yes, our alien energies were there as heavy as we could to stop it. Yes, pollution, some of these pollution situations, humanity has to learn, so we can't interfere too much. We do help with the vibrations of it as much as we can. Your CNN or PSYOP realities, yes, there is much going on here. That's another thing when as your vibrations shift to a higher frequency. Yes, you will notice things, or your guides will tell you that's fake. That building, yes, is real, but the company is not real, or a front, as you call it. And some of that will come through for those of you that need to see it. Not everyone's going to need to see something like that, but some of you have curiosity, like, I want to see it all. And there are some things that you can handle to see. Some things are better off not knowing at all. You might have suspicions, but you can't tap into it. You can't tap into it because you don't need to go there. That's why. I was thinking with Lockheed Martin's energy. That's not exactly the healthiest vibration. Yes, there is a lot of Martian vibrations there. Yes, they do a lot of mind control energies. They do work with MK Ultra, of course, because they want to continue with the funding that they're getting. So think about the mad scientists that are running the asylum, basically. They have these technologies and they get obsessed with it. It's like their version of exercise. I mean, you get addicted to exercise, but they got addicted to science, and they can't let it go. And they don't care how many people they hurt by doing it. If they create a weapon like, or a jet fighter that has no purpose whatsoever, well, then they find a ward, or they create a ward so they can use it. It's war games behind the scenes. And you are healing it. And eventually more alien energies will come through to let you know what you need to know on the next level of your reality. Meaning that alien beings can come to you and say, yeah, you need to pay attention to what's happening. Turn on your television, whatever it might be. Of course, this isn't for everybody. For some of you that are here for that, that's in your timeline to heal these situations. Heal the hidden war. Much of it, yes, is in the family. Notice how there's a lot of toxic energies within families in general. Not all, but quite a few. A lot of it, yes, is for soul growth, but some of it is done by design to keep you shut down, to keep you part of the reality. Yes, they cause all these problems. The beings that run your planet cause all these problems here to keep you away from what's really happening. Yes, you come here for soul growth. You're here to love yourself more, while there's alien beings controlling your planet, using your world as a weapon against other planets. So your astral will become more known. Yes, as you realize the psyop of reality as it begins to heal, the outside universe has become more known, meaning that planets will start to talk to you, space will talk to you when the time is right. Right now, this is the game plan to help the earth release it from its contracts, the negative contracts. So yes, trust your intuition on all of these corporations, books, TV, whatever it might be. Yes, the elite are telling you something. It's becoming more obvious. They're tap dancing into your living room, you can say. And they're being a little bit too, in some regard, maybe too honest, but that isn't that what you want. Of course, people are always going to believe it, but those are more of those in the third dimension, more of you in the fourth and fifth and sixth and higher than that. You are seeing, yes, how they're operating everything behind the scenes. So blessings to you.